The Tom and Doug Show. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Now we're just like every other commercial radio station.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, we have to do it.
No, you have to do it in commercial radio voice. Blah, 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 blah.
And then we have to do it several times at the same moment on different stations.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll know you like it because you heard it over and over on different stations.
But I don't think people really believe that anymore, because I think people just don't care about the radio. I mean, what I'm saying, they care about community radio stations, obviously. Sure. But the big stations, the big computerized stations, the monsters where they play the pre-programmed music, nobody really thinks of that as radio anymore. I don't think people listen to that in the same way that we used to listen to the radio. Do you think?
I guess I don't know. I think you're right. I think especially the younger generation, they feel like they should be in control of exactly what the next song is. So they're making their playlists and then they skip it to the next one. Because
yeah, I mean, I do that myself.
Do you remember your first transistor radio?
I might still have it here someplace.
And you had one little kind of earbud, right?
Yeah.
And it was like the coolest thing to be able to have music and be in connection wherever you were.
Yeah, and it made you feel like you were listening to something important. There were actual people on the other end who were someplace. And if they were like far away someplace, then that was like even cooler. Because, hey, man, I'm listening to people talking far away.
Yeah. And they're paying attention to things that I would like to know about, and they're going to tell me.
Yeah.
And so now you're saying you think radio has just become such old technology that no one cares?
Well, I think part of it is that they have removed the humanity from it. So it's all programmed. I think young people think of the radio today in the way that we used to think of elevator music. There were no humans involved. When you hopped into the elevator and you heard that, but you wouldn't pay attention to it because you felt like that was the sound that some sort of system created.
And it's being forced on you.
Yeah. And I think that's what people think about the radio, except, of course, for community radio, because they hear people like us talking.
And they know that there's no way we could survive on commercial radio.
That's right. They know better.
So it must be real.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Well, let's play a real human song then.
By real humans, you mean?
Well, by us at least.
Okay, very good.
Is there anything more hilarious to see than Tom gripped by self-delusion?
It's an entire world of people working hard to support my heartfelt illusion.
I don't exist. That's how it seems. I only find references to my worth.
Doug is definitely a giant hoax, the largest ever in the history of Earth. You asked the burning question, but I say you asked it wrong. I could get my groove back, but it's been back all along. I know I'm right. La 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 la.
Tom is the enemy of all religion. He's got nothing on his shelf.
Doug is a dirty, stinking secularist. He created math and science itself. We drove to the bank for our money, but Doug refused to give a dime.
I'd say I'll pay you yesterday if you could just give me the time.
I can't see too much at all with the house on fire. Sometimes it makes me wonder, sometimes I just perspire. Maybe I've just got too much time to burn.
I don't believe in believing. I don't believe in words.
I don't believe what people say. At least that's what I've heard.
I don't listen to extremists. I ignore them all day long.
There's an iceberg, Captain.
Nothing to see. Move along.
You might say it's burning, but I think you've lost your nerve. It's like I'm looking in the rearview mirror and never think it's time to swerve. When I think I'm there, I know I'm somewhere else.
Hi, that was a real song made by real people. I think people are most interested in other people. And we hate to tell you this, but Tom and Doug are real people. I know it doesn't sound like
We're
it,
not just a number.
but we are actual people with real voices and with real, weird guitars and mistakes and all that stuff. So I think that might make it more interesting.
Well, that's certainly true in advertising. So I have a friend who is the head of a multinational construction company. And what he's interested in showing off is the types of structures that his company can build. And his advertising agency said, no, you got to stop putting these buildings on the cover of all your materials. People want to see people. There has to at least be one person in every photo, even with what you're trying to show off as the architecture. In the foreground, you have to have some construction worker looking up at it. That all of a sudden makes it an interesting photo for people. People want to understand how they can connect to it, and they do that most easily by seeing or hearing someone else there too.
I think that's true.
Do you think that's also why we talk to ourselves so much? Like, you don't just sit around and look around your room, you say things to yourself about what you're seeing in your room.
I never say that.
Do you not?
Never say that.
No?
No, I don't.
You don't do a play-by-play as you're doing things in your day?
No, I don't do that.
Oh man, I do play-by-play and color commentary.
I remember you told me the story about where you have imaginary conversations with people all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Great idea, Doug." that's what they're all saying to you. That's 26 in a row.
That's silly. I don't need other people's confirmation.
All right. Well, let's play a song.
You ain't been blue, no, no, no. You ain't been blue till you've had that mood indigo. That feeling goes stealing down to my shoes while I sit and sigh. Go long blues. Always get that mood indigo since my baby said goodbye. In the evening when the lights are low, I'm so lonesome I could cry. 'Cause there's nobody who cares about me. I'm just a soul who's bluer than blue can be. When I get that mood indigo, I could lay me down and die. You ain't been blue, no, no, no. You ain't been blue till you radio. That feeling goes stealing down to my shoes while I sit and sigh. Go long blue.
Hi, everybody. We're talking about the nature of radio, which is odd because we're talking on the radio about nature of radio.
Ooh, it's recursive. It's
yeah.
cool.
And, we remembered radio. And, it's always funny because AM radio is so much worse sounding than FM radio. But for many, many years, like when we were kids, AM radio was what people listened to, and FM radio was some other weird thing that you didn't really listen to.
And nowadays, you'd think by now AM radio would have gone away, but no, those stations are still doing really well too.
No, they're not doing well at all.
Okay, no radio stations doing well.
They've been consolidated.
But they haven't gone away. The market hasn't evaporated, but advertising dollars have evaporated.
Yes.
The people inside those buildings have evaporated, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is it you think people want out of radio? When you ask people, why do they do these, they usually would say entertainment and information. But I don't think people actually say, boy, I want to be entertained right now. I'm going to turn on the radio. Or I don't even think they say, I want information right now. I think there's something else they want.
I really don't think that the needs of the public drive what is on the radio. Mm-hmm. I think it's the needs of the people who are in control of the radio that drives the radio. So really the needs of the people who own 50 million of these things, their needs are to send out pre-programmed advertisements with as much control as possible.
While reducing costs as much as possible.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
How do we get some of that?
Let's play another song.
So during the break, Tom, we got a call from Kim Reynolds, who said that last song we did, Black or White, is against the law now.
Okay.
It smacks of critical race theory.
We're sorry.
And so she's demanding that we sing a rebuttal song that fits the current zeitgeist and law.
Okay, good.
Tell because you can see it. I've got lots of hair on my arms, I'm blessed, but you only have one hair on your chest.
Well, I'm better than you, and it's a fact, and we all know it. Everyone can see that I'm taller, and if a basketball scout was here, I could call her.
I'm better than him. It's obvious, but let's still say it. I don't even have to doubt it. And if someone didn't know it's true, I could shout it. I'm better than you because I come from so much money. And you had to earn it like a regular jerk and spend every day pretending to work.
No, I'm better than you, and I'm gonna put it on my webpage. The secret to success is the result you see of how close someone looks like me.
I'm better than him, and I had to overcome such privilege, facing all the pressure every time. Life is much harder from the front of the line. Shout, 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 shout. It's the best way to be heard. It's the way I can win every battle I have and only know a single word.
No arguments, no thoughts, no learning, no mind.
Like my own university,
where every course is all about me.
Now that's what I call diversity. I'm better than him, and I had to overcome overcome such privilege. Facing all the pressure every time. Life is much harder from the front of the line. I'm better than him. It's obvious, but let's still say it. I don't even have to doubt it. And if someone didn't know it's true, I could shout it. Thank you. I believe we are now legally compliant with... Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Tom and Doug Show. We are here on the radio.
Yeah,
how did we get on the radio?
Wow. Well, okay. Yeah, people don't know our story, do they?
We got on the radio because Doug wound up going to a meeting for this new radio station.
I'm going to take us farther back than that. The year was 2005.
Yes.
I was, surprise, getting divorced.
Oh, again?
And was not a happy person. And Tom came to visit me, and he thought a way to cheer me up would be to put me on the air. So he said, hey, Doug, let's start a bi-weekly podcast where we'll talk about our music and things like that. And I said, okay, what are we going to write a script? Are we going to? He said, well, you sit here. And so I sat there. He says, I'm going to sit here. And he said, okay, now what? And he pressed record. And it just went like that. And immediately because we've worked together for so many years, there was this immediate banter and connection and vibrancy to it. And it surprised the hell out of me, really, because I was in a deep depression. And yet somehow it made me come more alive and reconnect to you and to the things around me. And so then, yes, when my local community was trying to get bandwidth for a community radio station, and they had submitted all the paperwork to the FCC. They put together a group of people to be on the board of directors and start planning for it. And because I had done a lot of radio in high school and college, they asked me on it. And then we started putting our show into radio format rather than just the podcast format.
Yes.
And we've been doing this for a long, long time since we've been on the air since 2010.
It wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, it's surprising. So that either means we're brilliant or it just doesn't take much talent.
Yeah, no talent. All right. Here's some of our no talent music.
So I think I'm all set.
Okay, ready. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, I think that'll do.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
Did you ever do radio before?
Never did radio.
Us? Okay. So,
I always wanted to. You know, every kid wanted to do something. At least I think every kid wanted to do something on the radio.
I had a high school radio station.
Mm-hmm.
I had a college radio station.
No, we never had any of that.
You went to the same college I
Well,
did. You had
yeah,
it.
but I didn't know where it was. And,
But I would
actually-
hold contests.
Yeah.
On my, I had a classical radio show when I was in college. Saturday morning classics, because college students, nothing they want to do more than get up at 8 in the morning on Saturday and listen to classical music.
Sure.
Right? And I would hold contests like the first person to call the station gets whatever it was. No one ever called.
Uh-huh.
Not one.
But did you pretend and tell people that so-and-so won?
Well, back when I was starting radio in the early 80s, they actually made you learn the FCC rules and take a test and get certified by the FCC. Nowadays, anyone can walk into any radio station and just be on the air. You don't have to be certified. That's one of those deregulation things.
All right, well, let's play one more song, and we'll come back.
So I think the moral of the story is if we don't keep supporting our community radio stations,
That is a good moral.
there is nothing
Nothing
gonna be
between
for you.
and endless bits and bytes telling
Yeah.
you to buy.
And with no one behind it
Yes.
who actually cares about you or your community.
So, but we hope you enjoy your life and your job and your school and whatever you're doing this week, because we need you here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, back to watch or listen to next week's show.
And we are with you. We're going to be here with you because we're real people just like you hope to be.
Yes, thank you. See you next week.
Tom and Doug are political mavericks. Tom, you ever tell the story about when you ran for governor or president or whatever?
No, I ran for Congress.
Ran for Congress.
I came very close to getting the 50 signatures to get on the ballot. There's nothing more humiliating to walking up to strangers you don't know at the supermarket and asking them to sign your petition. Man, that was this. If you ever want to be humiliated, that's the way to do it.
Even more than having a radio show.
It's
huh?
even more than trying to go out on a date. Well, I don't know. But yeah, I would say it was even worse than that.
It's trying to go out on 50 dates.
No, it was worse. It was terrible. It was worse. Yeah, it was